All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a really tough one, something that's honestly shrouded in a lot of mystery for so many people: addiction treatment. Our goal here? To give you a clear, actionable playbook that cuts through the noise.
You know this quote, it just hits home, right? It perfectly captures that feeling of being in a fight with an invisible opponent. It's scary, the stakes are incredibly high, but the very fact that you're here, listening to this, well, it means you're already looking for a way forward.
And that's exactly what this is going to be: your playbook. This isn't just about throwing facts at you. Nope, this is a tactical guide. We're going to break down the process piece by piece to turn all that confusion and fear into clarity, and hopefully a real sense of empowerment.
Okay, so where do we even start? Well, the first challenge, the first problem we have to face is not what you might think. It's not the substance itself. It's what's going on up here in our own minds. We're talking about the mental roadblocks that can stop people dead in their tracks before they even begin.
And the big one, the absolute king of these roadblocks, is denial. Now, this is super important to get. Denial is not a character flaw. It's not about being weak. It's actually a pretty powerful self-protection tool. Think about it. Your brain is literally trying to protect you from something that feels just overwhelmingly painful. It's building a wall to keep the real consequences at a distance.
But here's the thing about denial. It is sneaky. It's not always some big, loud, "I don't have a problem" declaration. Oh no, it's way more subtle. It's that little voice that says, it's not that bad. That's minimization. Or it's the one that comes up with perfectly logical sounding reasons for doing something you know is off. That's rationalization. And of course, there's blaming everyone else or thinking, hey, everyone does it. Or the big one, I can stop anytime I want. See how it shapeshifts?
So, let's put some real words to it. Does any of this sound familiar? Hey, I can't have a problem. I still have a job. Or, come on, everyone parties like this. And the classic blame game. You know, the only reason I do this is because of all the pressure you put on me. Hearing these phrases, whether from yourself or someone else, that's a huge red flag. Recognizing that inner monologue is the first real step to breaking down that wall.
Okay, so all of that denial, all of those excuses, they feed right into this next huge, and I mean huge, misconception. Let's talk about the myth of rock bottom. You know the idea that you have to completely crash and burn, lose everything, before you're somehow allowed to get help. It's a really dangerous way to think, and honestly, it's a high-risk gamble with your life.
And this quote just nails it. Waiting for rock bottom isn't a strategy. It's just waiting. It's a delay tactic that lets all those defense mechanisms we just talked about, the denial, the blaming, run the show. You're basically just standing there, waiting for the crash landing, while the problem gets a stronger and stronger grip.
So what's the alternative? We need to completely reframe this. Forget rock bottom. Let's talk about a turning point. See the difference? Rock bottom sounds like this terrible disaster you have to wait for, full of shame and hopelessness. But a turning point, that's a moment of insight, an opportunity to pivot. It's not about hitting the floor. It's about seeing a better path and deciding to take it. It's a moment of hope.
And look, getting to that turning point isn't like flipping a switch. It's a journey, and it actually has pretty predictable stages. You start at pre-contemplation, where you honestly don't even see a problem. Then you move into contemplation. Okay, maybe there's an issue here. Then preparation, action, and maintenance. Knowing these stages is so powerful because it helps you understand where someone is at and that you can't just force them to jump to the end.
All right, so let's say you've navigated past denial, you've embraced the idea of a turning point. Now what? Where do you even go? This brings us to our third big problem: finding the right playing field. Because here's the secret. Rehab isn't just one thing. It is not one size fits all.
What you're looking at here is called the continuum of care. Just think of it like a spectrum of support, ranging from the most intensive to the least. At the top, you've got detox, which is medically supervised. Then maybe residential treatment, where you're living there 24/7. As you step down, you've got things like partial hospitalization or intensive outpatient, where you go for several hours a day, a few times a week. And it goes all the way to standard weekly therapy. The whole point is to match the level of care to the level of need.
So you're probably wondering, okay, how do you know which level you need? Well, it's not a shot in the dark. Professionals use established criteria, like from the DSM-5, to look at the number of specific symptoms someone has. Based on that number, they can determine if the substance use disorder is mild, moderate, or severe. And that diagnosis helps point them to the right spot on that continuum. It's a methodical way to make sure you get the right support.
Okay, let's recap.
We've looked at the mental defenses, we've busted the rock bottom myth, and we've mapped out the options. So it all boils down to this: your winning play. The one single move that can change absolutely everything.
But first, let's just sit with this number for a second. 1 in 10. That's it. Only 1 out of every 10 people who desperately need treatment ever actually gets it. That's a gut punch. And the reasons? They're exactly what we've been talking about. Fear, shame, stigma, and just not knowing where the heck to even begin. So, after all of this, after breaking down this entire playbook, what is it? What's the one move you can make right now that cuts through all that fear and confusion and puts you on the path to winning?
It's this. So simple, but it's the hardest part. Ask for help. That's it. That is the winning play. And please, hear me on this. It is not weakness. It is the most courageous thing you can possibly do. It's the first domino that makes all the others fall. It's where everything changes. So the question was never about strength. You have the strength. The real question is, are you ready to use it?